How to use AI to integrate different services. A few days ago, I think it was a few days ago, I made a video on how if you're in IT or software engineering, you should look at AI not as a tool that will fully replace you, but rather as a tool that can accelerate your ability to get some work done. View it almost like automation for the automation. Today, we're going to be using AI to connect two different services together. We're going to have a GitIA server, and every time I make a commit on that GitIA server, it should update Vikunja, which is an open source Kanban that I like to use in my whole lab just because it takes very little resources and it's easy to spin up. Let's go ahead and get started with the lab. This is a practical example of how to use AI to set up more advanced workflows. AI should be used to automate the automation. It doesn't have to be used everywhere. And when you should use it, you should try to use it in a way where you're not going to have to continuously have to use it. No need to have AI do the automation when you can just build a script that does it for you at triggered times, right? Take that inference cost, pull it down once, and forget about it, basically. The whole point of this video is to answer a question. What if creating an issue in your Git server automatically added it to your project management system? I already have a version of this integrated, but rather than it pushing to an external Git server, I keep it on one machine and I use a local skill to track Git changes on a remote Vikunja server. If I were to pull up my Vikunja server, you kind of see what this looks like. Hold on. I don't know why I turned on 2FA for a internal service, but at some point I thought that was a brilliant idea, and now I'm obviously very mistaken. All right, so we got Vikunja logged in. As you can see, I have a few different projects here, right? The main one is small CTL, and inside of small CTL, you can see I literally have hundreds of tasks. And each one of these tasks were added after I asked my AI to make a change or manage a service, right? It just dumped it in Vikunja. And if I need to go back and see what I've done over the past couple of weeks, I literally just scroll through here. Or sometimes I go back and I ask the AI to scroll through here and respond accordingly. So here's the network diagram. And again, normally it's just one server with the skill on that server and it connects to Vikunja. This one's going to be a little different. We'll be having one server and we'll be connecting them to each other using AI. So notice how we're connecting to Vikunja and GitIA, but open code or the AI doesn't directly send the data between those two. It's just setting up the configurations necessary for that. This is my Proxmox host. We're going to expand out PV store. Oh, that's where the virtual machines are kept. We're going to expand out PV heavy. And we're going to take a look at VMs. And we're going to take a look at containers 300 and 301. 300 has our test GitIA server and 301 has our test Vikunja server. They should be available on the standard ports. So I think the IP for this is 1165. If you were to do 192.168.1.165.3456. And there is the Vikunja test server ready to go. And then we should also have a GitIA test server at 164. And the port for it should be 3000. And there we go. We now have GitIA and Vikunja set up and ready to go. So Vikunja and GitIA are ready to go. The next step is to hop on over to OpenCode and get things going. We're going to have OpenCode make SSH connections to both those servers. And the plan is straightforward. I like to keep the scripts I'm running on the server that is running the service, mostly because that makes logical sense to me. If I have a GitIA script that's supposed to reach out and update Vikunja, putting it on GitIA seems to make sense because then I can just back up the entire host and I know the script that's getting the API calls is on the server. I don't have to go hunting for it. It's like getting a new toy and its batteries included. Let's talk about the workflow we're going to build and then actually get it built out. First, in GitIA, we create a new issue and that activates a webhook that then gets normalized to create a task in Vikunja. And then it syncs back and that's it. The problem we're trying to solve is that the same work lives in two separate systems. We have one where Getia knows the issues, title number, repo context, developer comments, and open and close states of issues. We have another where Vikunja knows the project task list, the assignments, the due dates, and the planning status. Neither system automatically understands what happened in the other. In this case, from my experience, I've found the best use case of AI is actually not to have it be the integration. A lot of people set up AI and they want AI to basically do the thinking for them. No. The AI is good. It's not good enough to do that yet. Will it ever get good enough? I don't know. We're working from what it can do today. And I say what you want the AI to do is become a translation layer, not be the primary integration. You have to use the advantages of AI. The one thing it is good at, it is parsing through dense pieces of information. So we're going to use the AI to read both APIs. We're then going to use AI to map the data between Getia to Vikunja. We're going to generate tests, or the AI is going to generate tests. And then we're going to run live examples against the servers to confirm everything works as intended. We're going to start with just one simple workflow and go from there. So let's get started. Let's head on over to OpenCode. All right. Let's go ahead and read the prompt and we'll get started with this challenge here. So proceed with implementing the following. Then I gave it credentials and IPs. First, inspect both servers, confirm API access, and document the available users, projects, repositories, ports, and authentication methods. Then build a Python webhook service that receives Getia, creates one matching Vikunja task when an issue is open, updates the existing task when the issue changes, completes the task when the issue is closed, prevent duplicates tasks, stores issues to task mapping. Basically, add this webhook service feature into Getia for me. If we were to open Getia, go to settings, webhooks, you'll notice the webhooks are pre-baked in. We don't have a custom webhook for Vikunja. So the issue is to see if we can get that custom webhook for Vikunja up and running. Okay, so let's go ahead and paste our prompt in, and we'll give it a few minutes for it to run. Kimi K3 is definitely slower than the likes of GPT 5.6, but they also don't have, $100 billion? Right? Keep your expectations relative. It's still a very good model. I'm going to trust it to run this prompt, and then we'll be back in a few minutes and see how well Kimi K3 can hook up two different services. We're back. That took about 15 minutes or so to wrap up. And it says it created the webhook. Let's hop back on over to Vikunja. Go to settings. We're going to have to log back in. And we're logged back into our temp admin account. Let's go to webhooks. It is not listed there. Let's see here. It says the webhook was created, but I don't see it listed in the webhook link. Let's see if we can resolve that. All right, so we reviewed and we found that it did not have the webhook listed in the web UI, but it does says the webhook was created. So let's see if it can resolve that, and we'll go from there. All right. So it looks like it created the webhook under the wrong scope and made it a demo level webhook versus a site-wide webhook. And it went ahead and made that change. If we were to then hop back over to the demo site, you see we have our two issues. And then on Vikunja's side, when we go to inbox, you can see that demo issue we just created. So let's create a new issue. Call this one, and we created our demo issue of Hello World. And then the body of the issue is going to say Hello World. And then we create the issue. Perfect. Now if we were to go back over to overview, we should have another task. And look at that. We already have another task, right? So the AI did a pretty good job, boys. This is what I would consider a pretty nice implementation of this. So we went ahead and we confirmed that Getia and Vikunja were talking, and that when you created an issue in Getia, it automatically got sent to Vikunja. We used the AI to set up that little bit of automation or integration. But other than that, the AI doesn't have to be involved anymore. This can go away. This can go away. And then you just have that nice little integration between these two servers. And you can just leave that running all day. So lessons learned from this video: when creating or working with AI and you want to do automation, try to set up the automation so the AI doesn't have to stay in the loop every single time. Otherwise, we also learned that AI is very good at building these type of integrations, right? This was Kimi K3, but I'm pretty sure Kimi K2.7 could knock this out no problem, right? As well as any ChatGPT models higher than like GPT 5.3, right? About, I'd say, late last year, between like September and like December or something, the models all of a sudden became very good at managing systems and writing code. So I guess the question now isn't what the models can do, but what all, but rather how to use them in the most effective manners, right? And I'm slowly discovering. It's a learning process, boys. If you're interested in learning with me as well, please stay tuned in, right? Otherwise, thank you for watching and stay blessed, boys.